Welcome to the Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where every cup tells a story, and every story starts with a sip. Join us on a journey of adventure, camaraderie, and of course, the finest brews, served hot and steeped in mystery. From dragons to ancient legends, we're brewing up more than just coffee. Today's tale begins. As the group continues their journey through the wilderness, the shadows grow longer and the air grows heavier. With no map to guide them and only Java's instincts to follow, tensions rise, and the unknown looms ever closer. Now, grab your mug, settle in, and get ready for the next chapter in our brewing saga. Episode 15, The Door in the Dark. Nightfall stretched its fingers over the road, pulling the last of the light into the horizon's embrace. The tavern was far behind them now, swallowed by the dark silhouette of the trees. Ahead, only uncertainty. No map. No clear direction. Just whispers of fate's warning in a road that may or may not lead where they needed to go.
This'll do.
She steps off the path, boots crunching over dried leaves. Her ears flick toward every stray sound, listening, always listening.
Off the road, enough cover, but not too much.
There's a pause. The wind picks up slightly, rattling branches above them. Nearby, a field stretches into the distance, an empty void in the night.
I don't need some creeping beast sneaking up on us while we sleep. Unless it's bringing snacks.
Doubt the snacks be friendly.
With a practiced motion, Nived flicks a claw toward the pile of gathered kindling, exhaling a brief puff of flame. The dry twigs catch, sparking into life. Firelight flickers against the trees, carving shadows where none had been moments before. The fire crackles, filling the space with warmth even as an uneasy silence settles over the group.
We shouldn't linger long.
Her voice is barely above a whisper, but it cuts through the quiet like a blade. A warning. A promise. The flames pop, embers dancing upward into the night air. Java speaks softly, as if speaking more to himself than the others.
We don't even have a map anymore.
He shifts his pack, fingers brushing the worn leather pouch at his side. Inside, the weight of the key presses against him, heavier than it should be. His golden green eyes flick to the fire, reflecting its glow, but his thoughts are elsewhere, far, far away.
We're guessing.
But we're not blind, little one.
She kneels near the fire, tail wrapping around her feet, eyes watching him through the flickering light. The distant call of something moving in the woods. A rustling. The crack of a branch under something unseen.
We've got instincts. We've got you.
There's a long pause. Java doesn't look up, but his fingers tighten slightly around the pouch.
And fate.
He stretches, rubbing the back of his neck, then shoots Fate a sideways glance. His eyes and the words that follow are teasing, but with a hint of seriousness.
Though I'd like a little less cryptic and a little more turn left at the next tree.
The fire crackled softly in their small campsite, nestled between the gnarled roots of an ancient tree and the low rise of a mossy hill. Darkness had taken full hold of the forest now. The stars blinked between shifting branches overhead, and the wind whispered through the leaves like it was trying to speak a forgotten tongue. It had been a long, quiet day, too quiet. Their boots had followed a path that didn't exist on any map, because no map marked this route. The only guide they had was a key that tugged at Java's spirit and Fate's cryptic sense of direction. The path itself felt older than anything they'd walked before, and stranger. But for now, they had firelight and each other. Patches stretched her legs out, her tail flicking lazily near the flames as she stared up at the stars.
This is the part one always forget about quests. The in-between parts. The walking, the waiting. The what if we're not actually going the right way parts.
Fate, seated slightly apart on a mossy stone, didn't open her eyes. Nived groaned dramatically and fell back onto his travel pack.
There is no right way. Only the way that's yours to walk.
I'm starting to miss the comfort of being completely lost without destiny breathing down our necks.
You mean like that one time when you tried to follow that goat trail and led us into a bramble nest?
That goat looked trustworthy.
Bradicus chuckled, leaning against a fallen log with his arms crossed.
Trustworthy goats. Now there's a tavern name.
We already have one. Dungeon Brew.
Right, Not for us, of course. But it still sounds like a good tavern name.
The group let the moment settle, warmed by the fire and the rare pause in their march forward. The crackling wood and soft breeze wrapped around them like a blanket.
You know, this reminds me of a night not unlike this one. Years ago, in the middle of the Weeping Hills. I'd just escaped a very upset nobleman's wine cellar, don't ask, and found myself sharing a camp with a wandering bard who swore her lute was cursed. Said it whispered songs only she could hear.
Did she sing them?
Oh, she did. But the thing is, they weren't songs anyone knew. And every time she played one, something odd happened. A fox ran through camp on 2 legs. Rain fell upward for a few minutes. Once, our bread turned into cheese.
That sounds amazing. Where is she now?
No clue. She wandered off after a week, said the songs were pulling her somewhere else. Gave me a jar of pickled beets as thanks.
Pickled beets?
Delicious. But mildly enchanted. I never felt lonely when I had them.
He nodded solemnly. The group chuckled again, a little more warmly now. Even fate cracked a tiny smile, just at the corner of her mouth. The fire flickered lower, settling into soft embers. One by one, they stretched out on cloaks and bedrolls, the night easing in around them like a breath held too long. Java remained still by the fire, watching the last of the flames curl upward. He hadn't spoken much, not since they'd left the tavern. The key sat against his chest like a second heartbeat, warm and steady. Its weight reminded him of something waiting, something just ahead. As the others drifted towards sleep, Java closed his eyes. They had no map, no compass, no guiding stars beyond the ones hanging above them in the ink-black sky. But they had each other. And for now, that would have to be enough. The wind shifts, and somewhere beyond our friend's awareness in the fire's glow, something moves. The fire crackles low, its warmth fading as embers pulse faintly against the hush of night. Insects murmur in the distance, the rustling leaves whisper secrets on the wind. With a slow breath, Java exhales, curling in on himself slightly, his wings tucked close, his small frame rising and falling in the rhythm of sleep. Sleep claims him in fits and starts, never fully restful, never fully still. And then, all at once, the world around him is gone. Java stands in a place he does not know. Mist coils around his feet, rising in tendrils like living things, shifting in and out of shapes he cannot quite recognize. The air is thick, not with heat or cold, but with something unseen, pressing against his scales, curling in his lungs. Ahead, looming into nothingness, is a door. It is massive, ancient, not made of wood or stone, but something else entirely, something smooth yet rippling, as if it exists in multiple places at once. It does not belong here. Neither does he. A whisper, a breath of sound, just beyond comprehension. Words half-formed, slipping through the mist. The voice, distant, familiar, layered with echoes. Java. The mist shifts. The air thickens. The whispers grow stronger, curling like smoke, winding through his thoughts.
Who's there?
There's no answer. Only the pulse of the door, the pull of something unseen. A weight settles against his chest, not pain, not fear, but something heavier. Something older. And then, the voice again, closer this time. Java, come forward. The door's pulse quickens with a subtle shift in the air. The mist moves around him, guiding him toward the door. His feet move of their own accord. Step by step, the mist parts, revealing the full height of the door before him. Shadows dance at its edges, flickering shapes shifting too quickly to see. The whispers whine tighter, 1,000 voices just beyond reach. The key! He feels it before he sees it, heavy in his pouch, a weight against his side. It vibrates faintly, as if it, too, recognizes the door. As if it belongs to it, the pulse of the door aligns with the key, the vibrations resonating.
This is why I have it.
The thought does not feel like his own, but it settles in his mind as truth. He reaches for the key. His claws brush the leather of his pouch. A sudden rush of air, sharp and unnatural. The whispers twist into something else, sharper, louder. A hand, clawed, unseen until now, grasps his wrist. Java wakes with a start, chest rising and falling in quick, shallow breaths. The fire is little more than embers now, casting faint, flickering light against the trees. His hand is still outstretched, claws curled around something that isn't there. But the weight of the key in his pouch is real. And it is warm. In the distance, an echo of something, almost a whisper, but the wind carries it away before it can take form. Dawn breaks in slow, creeping light, stretching long fingers across the forest floor. The fire has burned low, the chill of morning clinging to the air. For a moment, the dream still clings to him, mist curling at his feet, whispers echoing in his ears. His claws twitch as if grasping for something unseen, something just beyond his reach. But the forest is silent. The fire is real. And the weight of the key in his pouch, warmer than before. He swallows hard, shaking his head.
Morning already?
Java doesn't respond right away. His golden green eyes flicker toward the dying embers, as if searching for something else in their glow.
Now, we have a brief break to hear a word from our sponsor. Plot holes. They lurk in the shadows of your story, waiting to derail your narrative when you least expect it. But don't worry. A Fiction Writer's Guide to Plot Holes by author Anne Snizek is here to help. This handy guide gives you the tools you need to spot, fix, and prevent plot holes before they become a problem. Ready to keep your story airtight? Grab your copy on Amazon today.
Morning already?
Java doesn't respond right away. His golden green eyes flicker toward the dying embers, as if searching for something else in their glow. Patches notices.
Didn't sleep well?
I'm fine.
The lie sits awkwardly on his tongue, but he doesn't want to explain, not yet. The others exchange glances but don't push. They trust him to speak when he's ready. They set about breaking camp. Bradicus, stretching the stiffness from his muscles, steps toward the edge of the clearing. He pauses and frowns.
That's odd.
He crouches, brushing a hand over the ground. The dirt is loose. Tracks. And they're fresh. Leading toward their camp. But none leading away.
Something came close last night.
but never left.
The group tenses. Listening. Java's claws curl against his pouch. His mind flashes back to the dream. The mist. The door. The hand on his wrist. Had it just been a dream? Or had something else been here?
We're not alone.
They finish gathering their things and move out, more alert and cautious as they go. The path ahead is uncertain. The forest is awake, but subdued, wind threading through the trees, distant birds calling in hollow tones. Without a map, without clear guidance, they move forward with nothing but instinct, in a quiet pull that only Java can feel. The key. It does not burn. It does not glow. But it pulls. A whispering weight at Java's side, nudging him forward, tugging towards something he cannot yet see.
So, we're just wandering.
Seems like it.
Right. Because blindly following an invisible feeling has always been a reliable strategy.
Would you rather we sit still and wait to be found?
That quiets him. Nivet exhales through his nose, muttering something under his breath, but he doesn't argue further. The deeper they go, the less familiar the path becomes. The worn trail fades, swallowed by time and neglect, replaced by uneven ground and scattered stones. Fragments of something older linger, broken road markers, half-buried carvings, remnants of hands that once passed this way. The past is here, though time has tried to erase it. Fate moves quietly, watching, observing, never interfering, but always knowing. She murmurs as she runs fingers over a weathered stone.
This was troubled once.
Her fingertips brushing rough stone, the faint scrape of old carvings beneath them.
But not anymore.
Guess we're making history then.
They hear a distant creak, faint, like the sigh of old wood settling, but there is no wood. Only stone and earth. The ruins around them are not dead. They are waiting. Java grips the key tighter. Ahead, the path continues, but something about it feels different now. Less like a road, more like a threshold. The air changes. It isn't immediate, not a sudden shift, not an obvious threat. But it happens. The wind that once wove lazily through the trees fades into nothing. The distant sounds of the forest, birds, insects, the rustling undergrowth, vanish. A silence settles. Heavy. Unnatural. The kind that presses against the skin.
Something's wrong.
She stops. The others do, too. They feel it now. Java's breath catches. At first, he doesn't understand why. But then, a faint hum reaches him. It's low, steady, and beneath everything, just at the edge of perception. The key. It feels warm now. No, not warm, but hot. Java presses a claw to his pouch, feeling the heat pulsing beneath the fabric. A heartbeat that isn't his own.
And anyone else feel like we're being watched?
No one answers. Because they all feel it. Fate shifts, her gaze sharp, scanning the edges of the clearing. The trees around them are wrong. Bent at odd angles, as if twisted by unseen hands. Not by wind. Not by time. But by something else. And the stones. Java frowns, stepping closer to a jagged rock half buried in the soil. He drags his claws over its surface. Smooth. Too smooth. Like river stone. But there is no river.
Tell me someone else saw that.
The words are barely out of his mouth when something shifts at the edge of their vision. Not a shape. Not a form. A shadow. Moving between the trees. Watching. Waiting. There's the faintest rustling, too controlled, too deliberate. Java's grip tightens around the key, breath shallow. Whatever this is, it's not just watching. It's waiting for them to move. The weight of something unseen presses in. The silence lingers. Heavy. Oppressive. The wind does not stir. The world holds its breath. The path twists ahead, winding through time-worn ruins. The stones whisper of ages lost, of hands that carved, of feet that walked, of voices that spoke in tongues long forgotten. And then, they see it. A doorway. Not a door, not yet. But the arch, a threshold half buried in the earth, its towering curve worn with time, its edges softened by moss and decay. The carvings are nearly gone, faded with centuries. But something lingers beneath the surface, a presence. A feeling. The key burns. A sharpness escapes as Java exhales, fingers tightening around the pouch at his side. Java knows before he even pulls it free. It wants to be here. It belongs here. A deep, slow hum from the key pulsing becomes like an echoing resonance in the air. Bradicus takes a step forward, gaze locked on the archway.
What is this place?
No one answers. Because before they can even begin to understand, the ground moves. The earth shudders beneath them, not a tremor, not a quake, but something else. Something waking. Patches yelps as the ground beneath her feet tilts. Nivet curses, claws scrambling for purchase. Bradicus reaches for fate, but she is already moving. Java stumbles forward. The key glows. And then,
Down came the rain and
they fall. Into darkness. Into the unknown. The last thing Java sees before the shadows swallow them whole is the archway above, and beyond it, a door, waiting, unlocked. The fire is low, the mugs are empty, and tonight's tale has come to an end. But the journey is far from over. Thank you for gathering with us at Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where adventure brews with every sip. Join us next time as new challenges arise, mysteries deepen, and the magic of the tavern unfolds. If you enjoyed this taste of adventure, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a new episode. We'll save a seat for you at the tavern. See you soon.